going fine until security finds this little lump of some substance that, well, Mr. Mayor probably should not be carrying.
I asked him what it was. He wouldn't answer me. The deputy asks him to remove whatever's in the pocket, and he chooses not to do it. So she goes in, retrieves it herself. He tries grabbing it from my hand, and I had to take my hand back, that I wasn't going to give it to him. When she opens her hand, she realizes that she's holding narcotics in her hand.
Mayor has stashed a small baggie containing black tar heroin in his pocket.
And he went to the police thing. He might have been on drugs when he went there. But and then he went. But what I'm saying is he came to that.
Really started to panic because he knew that if he got detained, that he was going to be in trouble.
And in fact, he's thinking, I don't want to be here anymore.
She realizes, I need to gain control of this person because he's probably going to run.
He punched her all in her face, bro.
Joshua does. He turned to go outside the door, to which I followed to try to still detain him.
He turns around and actually shoves her to the ground as he continues to run out the door. The second officer immediately follows up and runs outside the courthouse. The woman chased after him, but then he ended up staying right next to his partner in the area.
Mayor escapes from the courthouse parking lot on foot, leaving his 15-year-old son behind, standing alone at the security check.
His son was still standing there, shocked, didn't know what to do. It's bad enough to bring a 15-year-old to court with you when you're facing drug charges.
These niggas gonna be some Zans, bro. I forgot he bought his 94 in here, bro.
Unfortunately, this is probably not the first time that this juvenile has seen his father commit these types of crimes.
Yeah, it's because Sean brought his 94. You know, you gotta be like a 92 and below. It's all good. We just gonna have to play some D. You're right. Yeah, it just depends on what your rank is, man.
Authorities also put out an all-points bulletin for Joshua Mayer.
There is a serious manhunt for Mr. Mayer. Probably because he's just assaulted and injured a police officer.
He beat the shit out of that lady. He put that lady all on her shit.
There were a couple of schools in the area that had to be on lockdown because they didn't know where this knucklehead was or what he would do.
Police tracked Mayer down 24 hours later in a nearby town. He's charged with assault
he been there for, yeah. It's all good. All that shit lagging. Oh my god, bro.
And ends up with 1 year in jail.
Get in.
But adding insult to injury, Mayer is surprisingly released on parole after serving only 6 months, despite a prior record and escape attempt.
I still have issues trying to stand for long periods of time. I have lifelong injuries.
Straight.
And he only got such a short time. It was like he just got a slap on the wrist.
Good
and
take.
to see that he didn't fulfill the full year, it was even more a disappointment.
Hopefully prisons help him understand that you can't go shoving deputies, but also you need help for the drug addiction, you need to be a better father, and you need to get a job.
This shit lagging so bad, bro. This game is trash, bro. Let's get right. Let go.
At the 11th Judicial Circuit Court in Miami, Florida.
I'm dead, bro. He killed that shit, bro. Wow.
And she's there for the
Oh,
attempted
yeah.
murder of her husband.
Good
2 days earlier, police are called to Regalado's
Good
home.
take. Oh, they hold you, slowed you down, bro. That was a good take, bro.
Francisco
On
Martinez,
him.
with stab wounds to the upper abdomen, right arm, and leg.
According to the prosecution, Blanca stabbed her husband with a Swiss Army knife 6 times.
At the scene, she told the
That
police
shit's still lagging, bro. Something wrong with this server.
that her husband was a
Good
drunk
shot.
and she was sick of it.
She claims she stabbed her husband multiple times because he was
Alright, good shot.
but she also tells police she was planning to stab
Yeah,
him.
I love it. I love it.
About the fact that she was tired of her husband and that she put this Swiss Army knife in her
Oh,
drawer
it's too late.
for the next time that they fought. What she didn't realize, I don't think, is that she was basically giving these officers false charges to attempted murder.
Martinez is treated at the hospital, and Regalado is treated for her broken leg while in custody. Martinez survives the stabbing, and he's released a few days later. When officers tell Regalado her
Good
husband
tape,
is
man,
going
and
to
one.
live, she has a surprising response.
Oh, let me stay out this damn corner. Hold up,
She hoped her husband would die as a result of his injuries.
Now as Regalado appears before Judge Bernard, she is wearing an anti-suicide vest.
It's a smock that attaches at the shoulder with Velcro, so that tells me they were concerned about her safety.
They can't take it apart and use it.
Alright. Oh, we here. What's up? We here.
It's precautionary.
I think there's probably cause for an attempted
Jimmy, it's the shop, Kurt. Let's go. Get these boys up out of here, Doc. Give me that.
No bond.
Miss Regalado may not speak fluent English, but she does understand the words no bond, and her reaction is immediate and intense.
He was perhaps concerned that if she were out, she might finish.
They called gold, too. Good defense, bro. Good defense. That shit tough, bro. It's good defense.
Anything can happen. All new Guys Grocery Games Delivery tonight at 9 on Food Network.
Good read.
PBR.
Nah, you good.
It's Baker versus Maker as Buddy Maestro battles Master Artist in a clash of Christmas creations.
Good shot, boy. Look at right, Kurt.
Series premiere Buddy versus Christmas November 27 at 10 on Food Network.
Man, my shit, I ain't gonna lie. My shit still lagging, bro. Like, I don't know.
And is made with 3 times more odor
Give me that.
with Secret. Keep it fresh
Give me that. Where we here?
Secret.
Ruined our meal.
Oh.
Except for the plate.
Don't get paper plates. It'll leave a stain on your pasta knife. Get Dixie Ultra Deep Dish Plate. Extra deep to help prevent spills.
Nah, I hate the X button. They ain't pass your at the ball early, bro.
Factors like heart disease, diabetes, and raised triglycerides.
That shit is acting crazy. Oh yeah, here I come.
Vasipa, when added to your statin, is clinically proven to provide 25%
Ah.
lower risk for heart attack and stroke.
I got you.
Clearly different.
I got you.
FDA approved. Celebrate less risk,
That's on me.
even for those with family history. Don't take Vasipa if you are or become allergic to icosapent ethyl or any inactive ingredient in Vasipa. Serious side effects may occur, like heart rhythm problems and bleeding. Heart rhythm problems may occur in more people with persistent cardiovascular risk or who have had them in the past. Tell your doctor if you experience an irregular heartbeat or other heart rhythm problems. Possible side effects include muscle and joint pain. Celebrate less risk. Added cardio protection. Talk to your doctor about health protection with Vasipa.
Gaptical for Veterans Day savings. Wednesday only. Take an extra $10 off
You feel me?
purchase. Plus, take an extra
I love that attitude. We here.
foods for the family and starter bedding. Plus, get Kohl's cash. Plus,
That's the attitude I want to have.
with all your heart. Kohl's.
The pass.
He doesn't just make meats. He uses fresh, clean
You
ingredients
feel like it?
to make up
Give me that.
taste our delicious new
Bro.
flatbread pizzas today. Panera.
Oh.
It's time
What?
to crack an egg.
Any style egg works.
Or a smile.
Well done. This is great.
Time to share a story.
Great way to start
our discussion with old friends.
Good pass.
When you're a caregiver, time to breathe in.
Good job.
Then let it all
Oh
out.
yeah.
It's never been easier to connect, learn, and have fun. So let's do it together.
Oh come on, bro.
Near you.
Let's go.
Every time you touch a surface, bacteria is left behind. Now consider how many times your
I got you,
family
bro.
touches the surfaces in your home in 24 hours.
Good tape, big
Try
man.
Microban 24. Spray on hard surfaces to kill 99.9% of viruses and bacteria initially, including the virus that causes COVID-19. Once dry, Microban forms a bacteria shield that keeps killing bacteria for 24
Good defense.
hours, even after multiple touches. Try Microban 24. This has been manufactured by Microban 24.
Huh, let's go.
It's from Canada to TV.
The heavy device functionality comes with a voice remote. You can utilize it. And it'll show you all the action movies.
Hey, bro, that nigga is scratch, bro.
So no more, wait, where is that movie?
Let's go, bro.
Google TV is Jada helping you find
Let's
exactly
fucking
what you
go.
want to watch, even if you don't know what that is yet.
Let's
What
go.
should I watch? So, yeah, that's Chromecast with Google TV from Google.
Good shit.
We have a crisis on our hands.
All day. Good way to get around that screen, boy. There we go.
The Unplugged 10th season of Alaska: The Last Frontier. Sunday at 8 on Discovery. The media is latched onto this thing.
This great American crime.
We good. Good D.
Much more interesting.
Let's go. Good defense. Good shot. Good take.
There are techniques to brainwash people.
Does your father have sexual contact with you?
The crimes that changed us. All new series. Planet 10.
I'm here. We here. We here. He ain't doing shit. We here.
53-year-old
Let's
Barbara
go.
Regalado is at a bond hearing for the attempted murder of her husband.
I find out what it costs. No bond.
Ultimately, the judge makes a determination
Nah,
whether
what?
the can be bonded out, and it depends on the charges against the defendant. In
I
this
bet.
case, the judge tells Mrs. Regalado, no bond for you. That's because it's an attempted murder. That is automatically a higher risk to society.
Shot. Let's go.
So when the judge denies her bond, Blanca loses it.
This dude can't shoot, bro. He cannot shoot.
No, he can't. All he can do is play.
Let's go. Let's go. Me either, bro.
That she would immediately say, hey, the guy broke my leg, and so I grabbed my knife and used it in self-defense. But now I'm scared, shocked that she actually really did stab him multiple times.
But they is not letting you dunk that bitch, bro.
Called at least 3 times to the home of Miss Regalado and her husband on domestic abuse allegations by neighbors. But Blanca never filed a formal complaint against her husband.
Domestic violence victims are least likely to call the cops on their partners because it's simple for a bigger beating. A lot do reach the point of saying no more. If they've experienced abuse year upon year upon year on end, it's not going to see that a
Good fucking D, bro.
Oh, shit, bro. I didn't even know.
That's alright. We're good, man. Keep D in the mall. Keep D in the mall.
would finally lash
Bro, they ain't
out
letting me
and
get
say,
that
"I'm
block,
out
bro.
now."
He ain't here. He two-way.
It seems that she thought that because she expressed that her husband was the cause of the injury, she would be allowed to go free. But what she doesn't understand is not about who's the cause of the injury. At this stage, the judge has to make sure that she's safe, the alleged victim is safe, and the community is safe.
Judge was completely indifferent to her cries and her pleas. However, I expected to see a little
Where's the
bit more
block?
passion coming from the judge.
Hell no.
Good pass. Good shot.
The judges need to really understand what happens in domestic violence situations. The one time that the woman actually stands up
Give me that.
and the victim is actually the husband.
Bro, I supposed to block this.
In April of 2014, after spending a year in jail, Regalado decides to plead no contest to battery.
Which means I'm not admitting guilt. Kinda. But I am admitting guilt. And so she was given probation for trying to kill her husband.
How the fuck you get probation for trying to kill your husband?
I know, bro. I be watching that crazy shit, bro.
Not a bad deal.
After she's released, Regalado moves to a new home. It's unknown.
It's for you to not fit that up.
Good take, man. Good take.
Whether she now has any contact with her husband.
Hey, bro, they slapped on that throw up, bro. They hit me all in my mohawk. Bro, who jump shot is this, bro? What is this?
Not every defendant gets a second chance, but 32-year-old Matthew Medlin's defense attorney
I hate
John
that shit, but that ain't my
is
jump
making
shot.
an earnest plea for him during a sentencing hearing at the Multnomah County Courthouse.
I spent a lot of time with Mr. Medlin. There's been a huge change from when I first met him.
I'm now, bro. I'm now.
To now.
Like, but the crazy thing is, I'm supposed to be smothering and covering that shit, bro. Trash. Shot.
Medlin is at a Union Pacific Railroad, and he's not there to take a trip. He's there messing around with the brake system.
I'm back. You good? I'm back. You feel me? Get that out of here. What?
Intermittently, Mr. Medlin is throwing things.
That's two. I'm good. I'm good.
And then taking some time off to shoot up meth. You know, this boxcar battle turns into a 5-hour standoff.
Eventually, Medlin is tased and arrested.
Medlin is booked into the Multnomah County Jail on charges of criminal mischief, criminal trespass, disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, and interfering with a peace officer.
They hoeing you, bro. They hoeing you, bro.
Not long after he was arraigned.
Bro, why they got you shooting these lame ass layups, bro?
It was very hard to get background information because Mr. Medlin had been homeless.
Medlin also allegedly suffers from schizophrenia and is a chronic method. His criminal history consists of mostly non-violent drug possession and robbery charges, but his sheer number of arrests is astounding.
We learned that from the age of 18 to 32, Medlin has at least 28 separate arrests.
Quite frankly, the criminal justice system has become the dumping ground for the homeless, the mentally ill, and the drug addicted. And the criminal justice system is the least equipped.
Where's the block, bro?
Coming up, along with all the arrests over the years, come a series of dramatic mugshots.
And those mugshots tell a story, and it's not a happy story.
Brian and Sarah Baumler are working together. I don't know if I'm excited or nervous. That's how they build
Nah, bro.
successful business.
Nah, bro. Alright, enough is enough now. Alright. Nah, it's over with now. I ain't letting none of that shit in now. With the good. Good shit. Good shit. Go away, link up, bro. Nah, we here, bro. We everywhere. Fuck that. Good first half. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, bro, you comedy. You a comedy.
My body wash was the problem. Until I tried Olay Body, which improves skin 3 times better than the leading body wash. Better skin from a body wash? You better believe it. With Olay Body.
Hey, bro, that nigga, he out there balling, bro.
Incognito's chicken nuggets aren't chicken. Are you?
Oh my god, early.
Tastes like meat.
I got you right here.
Incognito.
That's me. That's me. That's me. That's me.
We good. Running on them. Running on them.
Go ahead, Kurt.
When they're sick, they get comfortable all kinds of places.
Ooh.
They also spread all
Hey, bro, he went up for that shit. Him and that green hair.
stress and more.
That nigga went up for that thing.
Where they rest.
Yeah. All three of us. Alright, we got you, bro.
On more surfaces than Lysol disinfectant spray. Lysol, what it takes to protect.
What are you doing?
Good shot. Good D. That's our ball. That's our ball. That's our ball. That's our ball.
When you start with a better hot dog you can do it all. It's all for the love of hot dogs.
For unbeatable natural looking color, nice and
Shot.
cream. 100% natural looking color that lasts 8 weeks.
Shot.
Gentle on your hairy scalp with
You
concealer
straight.
in every
You straight. You
step.
straight.
Nice and easy cream.
Nah, you good, bro. Them good shots.
The new DQ loaded A1
We here.
stacked with thick cut bacon, crunchy onions,
There's a 2K.
A1 party steak
2K.
sauce and a creamy peppercorn sauce. This is one burger that needs 2 hands. DQ, Snappy tastes good.
So
What
you
can
know,
a healthier
Hey,
lifestyle look
Kurt,
like?
you so
Meet
funny,
the
bro.
failures of the question. It can lead to a world of possibilities. The test will help you to stay alive and out of the hospital. Don't take intestinal pregnancy. Can cause almost death to an unborn baby.
You straight,
Don't
bro.
take
Yeah, we
intestinal
here.
ACE inhibitor or
Yeah, let's go.
or
We
if you've
here.
had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your
You're deep,
doctor
boy.
about intestines.
Ladies, check it out. So strong.
Get this shit out of here.
The ultra strong back.
Yeah, bro. I greased that hoe, bro.
Killer in question.
Good pass. That was a good pass to bit, man. That was good shit. They should have made them dumb, bro.
so we need a basketball.
I don't want to die today. It's my birthday. The unplugged 10th season of Alaska: The Last Frontier. Sunday at 8 on Discovery.
Good pass. Good pass. That's good pass, bro. Let's go. We here, bro. He coming through that bit, bro.
Tonight at 10. Only on ID.
Ooh.
After a dramatic 4-hour standoff with police at a Portland rail yard, 32-year-old Matthew Medlin has been arrested for the 28th time in his young life, adding the latest portrait of a life defined by mental health struggles and drug addiction.
The progression over time, Matthew changes from a very handsome young man to a menacing figure. Sores on his face, the weight loss, the change in his skin health, the change in the way his hair
You
looks.
feel me?
It's all classic signs of addiction.
Tragically, many people like Matthew with untreated mental problems will turn to drugs to self-medicate and become addicts.
I see you, big man.
Schizophrenia, if
Yes, sir.
untreated, is diabolical. When I have clients who have paranoid schizophrenia, a lot of times
I
they
got you. I
want
go.
to stay in jail. Why? Because they get their medication and keep it stable. And then
Yeah,
when
man,
they're
this
out,
game is ass, bro.
that's it.
It's
They
the
don't
server,
get
bro.
prescriptions. They
This
don't
shit
get
is just
long-term
lagging, bro.
care.
He hit that? Good
It's been
defense.
6 months since this mugshot was taken after the railway standoff. He pled guilty to first-degree criminal mischief and has been behind bars and off drugs since
That's a
then.
bad shot. That's a
He's
bad
had an
shot.
opportunity
Hey,
to
that bitch
clean
almost
himself
went in. I
up,
thought that hoe
take a
going
shower,
in,
and
but
present himself
Why
better.
shit ain't green
So
enough,
he's
bro? I'm in
probably
the
feeling
middle
a lot
on
more
every shot.
confident at his latest
straight.
court appearance.
You just gotta
Where
keep
his
shooting.
goal here is to get the court to reduce
This
his
shit
sentence.
for real.
Defense attorney John Martz wants Matthew released into an intensive rehab program.
So rather
Let's go.
than just repeated arrests and
Good pass.
incarceration,
Good
trying to
pass.
get to the root issues of what is causing behavior and how can we address it in a way that reduces the chance you come back into the system.
Hey, bro, this
Now
is
we have a
trash,
chance to address all three of those issues in one shot. If we can do this, then we're all going to be better off.
man. It's straight.
Listen, I'm gonna go back for you
Hey,
now,
bro,
and I want you
them
to
niggas is holding my nuts, bro. I swear. Bro, that's swear, bro. They not leaving me open, bro. Like,
He ends up giving him
for real.
60 days in custody, 3
Good
years
pass.
probation, and 120 days in a rehabilitation program.
This is a great move on the part
That's
of the
good
judge.
pass.
Now, of course, we know that he's been in and out of the system, but obviously
Good
that has not worked. It hasn't stopped him from committing crimes. It hasn't stopped him from using drugs.
We got it. We got
So
it.
now it's time to try something else.
He hit that,
We have to
bro.
balance the crime, the punishment, and the need to rehabilitate a defendant.
Unfortunately, the day after Matthew is released from
Good
jail,
side.
he attacks
Ooh.
damages some
Good
police
side.
vehicles, and tries to fight an officer. Matthew Medlin is arrested again.
Despite the judge's best efforts, he's back in jail to add yet another mugshot to his collection.
It's always sometimes you know you can sit back and say,
Oh,
well,
man.
kind of some bad times. But criminal defense
Okay.
eternal optimists. In my career, I have seen people engage in a criminal
This
life
game is
for over
just
20 years,
trash, bro.
and then one day, the switch flips.
It's hard to break that cycle. We all want to
You
be
good, you
cycle
good.
breakers,
We here.
but there's so many elements that have to come together for it to work. The first thing is that the defendant has to want to change.
Bruh. Bro, he a dunker, bro. And it ain't nothing we can do, bro. He just dunking that hoe. Hey, bro. He dunking that hoe.
Possessing a firearm while on probation, Christopher Willis now finds himself facing a judge at the Oklahoma County Courthouse.
How was that not our ball?
Firearm possession is a minor charge. But when you are on supervised probation, any violation of probation normally equals the possibility of jail time.
Unfortunately, this particular charge comes with a hefty sentence, usually from 5 to 10 years.
I got caught on the screen.
Willis is convicted of possession of a firearm and is sentenced to
These
10
niggas
years in
is,
prison.
bruh, these niggas is on me
Willis realizes that he's
like
not
green on
leaving.
fucking letters, bruh.
I'm out of here.
There is a camera trained on the
Let's go,
courtroom
bro.
door, and we see those doors fly open.
And out comes Willis, running for freedom.
In hot pursuit is the deputy
D.
and the defendant's lawyer.
Startled onlookers move out of Willis' way.
Oh my.
Dash to freedom.
He is beaten feet down the hallway, and it's kind of like the party of the Red Sea. People are ducking and dodging, trying
This
to get
shit
out of
is
the way.
hilarious.
Him, deputies, complete mayhem. The interesting thing about it, he didn't know where he was going.
Let's go,
Because
man.
he goes one way, and then next thing you know, he's coming back. So he's running confused and scared throughout this courthouse.
The deputy calls for backup as he keeps up the chase.
Why is that a foul? How was that a foul? Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you.
But Willis's wild goose chase can't last forever.
But you can't even dunk the ball, you feel me? Slightly late? That's me.
He was really successful until he got to the elevator.
We good, man.
We good, let's go.
Is ready for him. Once he approaches, she gets in a ready stance. She grabs him.
Ooh.
She slows him down. Now he realizes that several attorneys have now surrounded him, and he tries to shoot one way and to get into the elevator.
Oh, it's too late. It's too late.
As Willis lunges in the elevator, he's stressed. And then the court personnel, the attorneys, all pile on to hold the guy down.
The deputy finally has him down. The attorney is with him.
He going
and
crazy,
it's like
bro.
a miracle. The elevator opens up, and there's just 5 uniformed deputies here to help out.
The charge he was ultimately saddled with was escape.
Oh, it's two of y'all.
Custody, and the bond on this charge was $20,000.
Willis also earns himself an extra 7 years in prison for his courthouse pranks.
Look, we're all human, right? And our instinct is to run from danger. But it's not a good idea to do it in a courthouse where it's crowded with people, but most importantly, armed bailiffs who will stop the chaos as soon as it began.
Hey, boo-boo. I stole that. Remind her.
A young couple comes face to face with death when a man bursts into their home with a shotgun. It's unbelievable. You're already in your house.
Good time out.
But this burglar gets more than he ever expected.
This guy reacts super quickly. He is in full-on fight mode.
This is a knockdown, drag-out role. It's a fight for survival.
And this fight
Let's go, man. We need to
the
stop right
beginning.
here. Big stop.
In all my years in law enforcement, I have never seen anyone try to do this.
That was
beyond me, beyond anything I could even imagine would ever happen.
And then, a quiet afternoon lunch is shattered by a senseless, violent rampage.
We see repeatedly strike Joplin in the head and face. And that's some of the hardest film to watch because you
feel
see the terror in her eyes.
Look at that!
Right here, bro. Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's go. We need to pull up.
1:30 in the
Let's go.
morning on February 17th, 2019.
This game's
A young
trash.
woman puts her feet up in
Fucking
her
game's
quiet
trash,
home in
bro.
Idaho Falls when the
Let's go.
unthinkable becomes reality.
Come on. What? I want no steal.
It's alright. We're good,
This
man. We're
is
good. Let's go. Let's
incredibly
go, bro.
scary. It's late in the night. The homeowner is relaxing on the
Shot.
couch on her phone. And all of a sudden,
Gotta go in.
some
Good
intruder
shot.
walking up the stairs
Shot.
with a shotgun.
Let's go, bro.
You're not exhausted. You feel safe. You're getting ready probably for bed. And the next thing you know, there's a guy with a shotgun
Let's go.
in your face.
The woman doesn't really tell her the door is in your house. There's no way you can look.
But as the woman shrinks from the shotgun assailant, her fiancé emerges from the kitchen and springs into action.
Here, let's go.
He sees this guy with a shotgun.
I got him.
He just tries to grab the shotgun from him. He is in full-on fight mode.
As the woman cowers next to the couch, things become even more
Let's get
terrifying.
shot. Let's go.
This is a knockdown, drag-out brawl. It's a fight for survival at this point. We see the fiance fall to the ground. He still doesn't let go of the shotgun. Then we see the gunman drag the fiance literally down the stairs.
That was a good shot, Kurt. That was a good shot, Kurt. One stop. One
He
stop.
can get shot. His fiance can get shot. So he has to hold on for dear life. Otherwise, it can mean certain death.
As they disappear down the stairs, the young woman, 18-year-old Isabel Allen, jumps up, runs to the bedroom, and calls the police, while her fiancé, 21-year-old Cash Jamel, fights desperately for control.
He's trying to hold the ball, bro.
As he's dragging me down the stairs by the shotgun, I just held on for dear life.
Let's go.
I was very proud of myself. He didn't shoot me.
Terrifying assault begins when Cash and Isabel are at their most vulnerable.
We'd actually just gotten back from a date. We did one of those escape rooms. Because we're just making a drink, get ready to relax for the evening. And she was watching the time lapse, kind of idly scrolling through social media.
Aspiring musician and Isabel, a cosmetology student, got engaged just a few days earlier. And as the happy young couple begin to wind down for the night, their
Oh my God.
were already asleep in the back bedroom.
I'm dead.
I'm
dead.
Caught off guard, Cash has only a split second to react.
Your brain is just pure adrenaline. You don't have a whole lot of time to make these decisions and then take on this 225-pound guy. So I signed him up with my eyes. There was easy sweat on his forehead. There was attention to him. And then he started telling me, sit down. Get that barrel out of the line of fire and out of
That shit been lagging, bro. It's just jumping too bad. I just can't have no good game, bro.
We hear cursing and screaming going back and forth. It's like this perpetrator is actually offended that this homeowner is putting up a fight and won't allow himself to be robbed.
Cash screams out to his housemate for help.
The house is a block. So as soon as we're on the ground, I start yelling for my roommates, stop being gone, gone. And the shot us and start dragging us down towards the stairs.
Who is this man's name? Why did he target this home? And how?
Yeah, I'm staying this. That's bullshit, bro. This shit keep lagging me, bro.
12 hours? Who's got that long?
Mucinex VM relieves wet and dry coughs. The #1 brand doctors trust. Spoiler alert! Incognito chicken nuggets are chicken. Are you? Incognito. Looks, cooks, and tastes like meat, but it's made from plants. Incognito. What? Afraid you might like it?
Xfinity Mobile's fast nationwide 5G network reached the first iPhone with 5G. Get the new iPhone 12 on the same network. And right now, at $250 off. Learn more at an Xfinity store today. It's my forte.
Hey, boy, that dog trying to get out of it, bro.
It's Ubrelvy. Anytime, anywhere migraine strikes, without worrying if it's too late or where I am. One dose of Ubrelvy works fast. It can quickly stop my migraine in its tracks within 2 hours, relieving pain and debilitating symptoms.
Do not take with strong citrate or inhibitors. Most common side effects were nausea and tiredness.
Migraine hits hard. Hit back with Ubrelvy. The anytime, anywhere migraine medicine.
When Panera's Chef Close makes a pizza, he doesn't just make a pizza. He uses fresh, clean ingredients to make a masterpiece. Taste our delicious new flatbread pizzas today. Panera. Forget about vacuuming for up to a month. Shark IQ Robot Deep Clean empties itself into a base USP as little as once a month. Unlike standard robots that bounce around, it cleans row by row. It's not a shark, it's just a robot.
When you're together 24/7 for 40 years, can you imagine the tension that builds up?
One day.
She wanted to hit me. I blacked out.
Barbara, keep on the body. Only on
I'm done with this game, bro. This lag and shit, man. Man, been on this bitch for about an hour and a half, and this bitch been lagging since. Man, it's straight, bro. It's straight.
Super trash. And I see some of the highlights in my head talking about motherfucker, you gotta pay to play in calls.
Oh, 7-3 paint fees, bro. 99. Let's go.
Takes daring action and finds himself in a desperate fight for survival.
This assailant seemed to have everything planned out. He makes his movements deliberate up the stairs, and he knows how to hold that shotgun.
He was finger on the trigger, ready to go, making demands and thinking he was in charge. But I made a conscious decision to not just roll over.
Come on, okay. He trashed me, bro.
Take the shotgun shell to the chest if that's what it
He's
The
annoying.
knockdown, drag-out brawl leads to a tumble down the stairs, where fortune turns the struggle in Cash's favor. He slips, and he falls pretty hard. I grabbed his shotgun and hit him with the butt in the face as many times as I could. My roommates finally show up, and they don't know what's going on at all. And eventually he decided, all right, I'm sick of this. I'm gonna leave now. And he's scrambling out the door. The burglar seems to flee into the night. But in a shocking twist, just a few moments later, he turns around and retraces his steps. He circled back around my yard and walked back to the front door. I could not honestly believe the guts of him.
Yeah, Kurt left. Yeah, I think something he dropped. The tape.
He's prepared to defend his home. I've been in a pickup type situation before, and after that, I made a decision never to let that happen again. And Idaho actually eliminated the need to carry permits, so I have carried a long gun since I was a pistol since I turned 21. So when he came back, he was still trying to be physically aggressive, and you see in the video, he's standing there with the AR-15 pistol at the top of the stairs for a while. My roommates are then at the base of the stairs, keeping him there. And we're having a conversation with this guy. He's trying to make a deal with us to get his shotgun back.
In all my years in law enforcement, I have never seen anyone try to do this.
Determined to retrieve his shotgun, the perpetrator makes an outrageous threat.
The table turned completely. Now you have the intruder.
How was that late?
On the guy who lives in the home that he's defending.
Police are
Making a deal, a trade.
Shot. Good shot. That's good shot.
Beyond me, beyond anything I could even imagine.
Good way to get down there, big man.
Yeah, definitely some guys couldn't deal with it anymore. I walked down the stairs and that's when I pistol whipped them.
Just as Cash is about to get carried away by his rage, one of his roommates steps in.
My other roommate freaks out, the one that's blonde and comes up the stairs. He pushed the guy out the door.
Alright.
And we can see as we're pushing him out the door, blue and red and white lights all coming around the corner. So I showed them the footage immediately. They were like, did you kill him? I was like, no. Blue eyes, left. They said, okay, good.
Police are on the heels of this still armed would-be burglar. They quickly locate the assailant in his car, just a few blocks away, passed out.
Oh, he big. He's 7. Hey, he's 7. Hey, he's 7'3", bro. 7'3", bro.
Firearms and
Max wingspan, max weight.
the rules and hierarchy of a gang.
During this time, I'm finally starting to come down off the adrenaline high. I'm shaking. There's a little bit of nausea, an overwhelming sense of just frustration.
Let's go.
One question hangs over the dark winter night. Why target Cash and Isabel?
In the aftermath, I kind of learned that he was coming over to sell some kind of debt. He wasn't around for money and drugs, but he obviously had no idea about who really lived in the house.
The suspect is identified as 28-year-old Eddie Walker.
Take it, man.
Charged and convicted for felony aggravated battery and sentenced to 14 years in prison.
Cash's actions, although desperate, are heroic. He has the absolute right to defend himself.
He is huge, bro.
But for Cash and Isabel, the ordeal has left a lasting mark.
It affected her deeply for a while, but we got married in October. It was great. Looking back on it now, I really feel like I maybe would have wanted to react a little less aggressively.
What?
The biggest thing for me was, he's not dead. We're not dead. Nobody died, right? Thank God.
Hey, but that nigga a bitch, bro. Let him try that shit again, bro.
Coming up, two elderly women find themselves on the defensive when a man goes berserk.
I saw a hand.
That's all. Damn it, that's me, y'all. My fault. I'm back. Damn it, bro.
Yeah, just a silly mistake. I guess I look pretty ridiculous. No one looks ridiculous, Bob. Progressive is always here for you with round-the-clock service.
Just so you know, next time you can submit a claim with our mobile app.
Good. Thanks again for rushing over.
Are you kidding? This is what 24/7 protection looks like.
No.
Good deed, let's go, man.
Let's go. He got me fucked up. I don't care if he at 99. He gonna have to come on with it. Let's go.
Order your favorite pizza today.
Let's go.
Free delivery this week only at Little Caesars.
How to share love with Natalie Tollhouse. Space. Share love with mom. Natalie Tollhouse. The original way to share love.
That's a bad shot, man.
Straight. We back.
Only pay for what you
Yes, sir. I'll make it the cookies. I was gonna get some cookies. What?
Let's end the year saving bigger.
I told him I'm done playing with him, bro. I'm on his head, bro.
This great
I'm on his head, bro.
got much more interesting.
Andrea has innumerable tapes of Warnecki's preaching.
There are techniques to
brainwash people.
Did your father
I got corner
affect
channel
the
on
contact
26.
with you?
The crimes have changed.
Let's go.
All new series coming up next.
Let's go, man.
Introducing the new pup on the block. Feed your little builder's imagination with their very own
Just gonna pull
Pull
that.
Along Puppy.
Yep.
Watch your toddler build and bond with their new best friend, Pull Along Puppy from Mega Block. Let's build memories together.
Let's go. Good D. Hey, bro, you hesitated. I swear.
That was a dumb take. I should have threw you a hoop right there, man, for real.
We good. Ari.
Okay.
Good shot.
The Bissell Crosswave Cordless Max lets you vacuum and wash your floors at the same time. Dry messes, wet messes. It even freshens area rugs. And when you buy Bissell, you help save some money. To learn more, go to BissellCrosswave.com.
The boys gotta talk about it. Come on.
Again. The stage is set for a huge first round showdown. I'll take everything they got. I'm gonna change again. Outlaws fastest in America. Monday at 800 Cregory.
When you're together 24/7 for 40 years, can you imagine the tension that builds up?
Monday.
I blacked out.
Barbara, sleep on the bottom. Was the assistant. Only Monday.
You good, I'm back.
September 29th, 2019, 4:25 p.m. A pair of elderly women sit down at a restaurant in Phoenix, Arizona. Their quiet afternoon is suddenly shattered by brutal
Straight.
violence.
Starts off tranquil and peaceful. Two women sitting at a table, drinking coffee. Strange men.
Oh, I tried to hit my boy.
And then all of a sudden, we're just immersed in violent behavior.
He grabs the coffee carafe and begins to mercilessly beat
That's off, bro.
elderly
That's
woman
bad shot.
repeatedly.
Look at that.
The attack
That's,
is
that's
shockingly
terrible.
sudden and seems to come out of nowhere.
This didn't appear to be a man on the verge of violence. He just happened to be walking by. Maybe he was going to his table or going to the
Yeah, we hear.
restroom.
There is no indication that this man knows the woman. This
Why is
seems
this lagging
completely
like this, bro?
random and out of control.
Oh, you gotta pull it.
Tries to get away, and the man after her other genders
Good take.
They get out of it, which is incredibly smart because if someone tries to intervene, it could make this person even angrier. We don't know if it's armed, if he's high on drugs. We just have no idea.
And with the restaurant emptied out, the two elderly women, 69-year-old Jane Tyre Tarones and her friend, 73-year-old Jacqueline, who was so violently beaten, are left to fend for themselves. For these two old friends, this was supposed to be a relaxing day out on the town.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I go to the casino every Sunday to get a $20 gas card and free play. So we go to the casino, and then afterwards we stop and get something to eat.
We put it all online, bro.
For these two women. They're both elderly, tired, and that was one of their favorite pastimes.
Both Jackie and I like
That's
pancakes,
tough,
and
bro.
it was right on our way. At first, there was absolutely nothing unusual. They seated us at the first table by the door, and I noticed that there was one table across from us with a couple and some kids, and that was the only other people that I saw. We were probably there maybe 15 minutes. We hadn't actually placed our order yet. I was on my phone, and I saw a hand reaching for the carafe, and I didn't look up because I assumed that it was our waiter.
Bro, he trash, bro.
And I knew there was an excruciating pain on the back side of my head. I went down and hit the table, split my chin open, and don't remember anything for a few seconds.
Jane blacks out as the
Oh, I jumped too early.
continues his rampage. But why has he attacked them? And what is he going to do to her friend?
Good take.
40 years ago, the Logan sisters went missing.
The abduction changed the way parents
The case has sent shockwaves across the nation.
Search effort has come up empty. The police have at last
Hey, good day.
somebody who might be able to help them.
Good shit.
They had stumbled on a hive of predators.
What happened on the mountain?
You could smell that flesh
Days on the mountain.
Who killed the Lyon sisters? Saturday, November 28th at 9 on ID. We asked college kids if they would get up early for a Burger King croissant.
Let's go, man.
That's good pass. Good knockdown.
This is better than what I usually eat. It's definitely worth waking up for.
The BKT sandwich. Get 2 for $4.
That's it. Perfect.
Get the sandwich your way. Way better.
I felt awful because of my scars. I was covered from head to toe with it. It really hurt. Then I started cosmetics. That was 4 years ago. See me.
Man, I ain't tripping. I'm playing defense.
Tell your doctor about an infection or symptoms. If your inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen, or if you've had a vaccine or plan to.
No, it's okay. Yes.
I look and feel
You good. Oh, let's go. Oh, it's in there.
Let's go, man. Who is that? Who is that?
At Marco's, get unlimited medium
The
1,000
defense, bro.
pizzas for just $6.99 each. Get the ultimate comfort food, cooked at over 450 degrees.
What are you saying? Big bird.
Marcos.com for contact-free delivery or carryout.
Good shit.
Let's go.
I seen that I was gonna get the rebound, bro. I'm calling ass don't court.
I got you. What you supposed to do? Haul ass.
Rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me.
He hit that whole ass shit, bro.
This great American crime got much more interesting.
Unbelievable tapes of Warnecki's preaching.
There are techniques to bring people.
It's a good tape.
Father have sexual contact with you?
No way, that's off.
What? But I thought I did too, bro.
Where is your emergency?
The customer just came in and started attacking some other customers, and there's blood involved.
After an unprovoked assault,
Ooh.
Jerome momentarily loses consciousness after being struck on the head. And the assailant immediately pounces on her companion, Jacqueline.
You see him repeatedly strike Jacqueline in the head and face.
Bro, you're doing too much, bro. You're doing too much, bro.
The terror in her eyes. Jacqueline puts her face into a defensive position, starts to try to protect herself, and he's just repeatedly pounding on her.
Jane comes to only seconds later and scrambles for safety.
The only thing I could think of was getting
Good
out
shot.
of the booth and getting away so that I didn't get hit.
That's gotta go in, bro.
Straight.
One of the employees, so I got behind him, and he took me to the back.
Big man, you so funny, bro.
To the security room, where all the monitors for the video cameras were, and all the employees was in the back room. They were all really young, and they didn't really know for sure what to do. So I made sure that somebody had called police.
Meanwhile, Jacqueline is left alone in the dining room with their attacker when the fight takes a surprising turn.
Shot.
Grabbing other plates, he starts throwing them at her, and she's throwing things at him in an attempt to.
Hiding in a storage room, Jane watches in horror on the security monitors. Is her friend going to survive this brutal attack?
When I saw that Jackie was throwing the dishes back at the assailant, it
Oh yeah, they
certainly
beefing.
surprised me. She's always pretty much been pretty feisty, but I could see she had a cut above her eye, and there was blood coming down the side of her face.
Good defense, y'all. Good shit, y'all.
She makes a desperate run for the back hallway.
Defense, big man. I'm fucking with you.
Now alone in the dining area, the one
Shot.
violent man seems to pull himself together and turns his attention to committing other crimes.
He starts actually picking up things. He grabs someone's bags that they left behind.
He grabs some of the family's belongings, and then he goes
Good call
to
for it.
elderly women's booth,
Green.
grabs some of their belongings, actually took one of their cell phones.
With her assailant distracted,
It's on you.
the opportunity to run out the front door.
Let's go.
Man makes his way into the kitchen, where things get even
Oh, yeah.
He picks up a pot and burns his hand.
Good shot.
Then he moves to place a rail and open flames, starting the fire.
Open shit, big man. Man, you straight. I got all my badges. I ain't tripping. Yeah, I got all mine, bro. I'm just here to win. So you gonna get that from winning anyway. Yeah, you gonna get that for winning. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. Alright.
I was back there probably 10 to 15 minutes, and it seemed like we were in there forever. I just felt helpless.
Hey.
They see a male in a red shirt exit the building through an emergency door and sprint across the parking
Watch 99. I got you, 7. Appreciate you, bro.
Taken into custody. Inside the restaurant, employees quickly extinguished the fire and it left the rampage.
Let's go. I'm turned up, bro. I'm turned up. Hey, I'm turned up, bro. But you know, I don't play with the shot meter and shit, man. It's hard shooting without that shot meter, bro. Yeah.
A homeless veteran who has struggled with mental illness and has had many run-ins with the law before.
We do know that there are higher rates of PTSD and sometimes veterans, but people who have PTSD, they're not typically violent.
The criminal justice system isn't really set up for mental health issues, so we end up in this circle all the time because even though they have mental issues, they're still committing crimes. They have actual victims. Demand justice.
Jane and Jacqueline both sustained serious injuries from the terrifying ordeal.
I drove us to the hospital. They didn't have an ambulance. By the time we got to the hospital, it was already almost going shut and black and blue.
We're going crazy on the edge.
Took 5 stitches to close, and the cut above her eye took 3 stitches.
But the psychological scars may never heal.
It's made me much more cautious. I won't sit at the table.
Oh, you got lucky, bro.
I don't like it when people are behind me, because I always
See you, big man.
I'm going to be blindsided again, and that scares me. But I think it's worse for Jackie, because I do believe that she has nightmares from being face to face with him.
Alright, bro. Okay.
They want justice to be served, and if he does have issues, for him to get help and get those issues resolved.
Good side.
I think knowing why it maybe happened could give them some measure of exposure.
Let's go. Say, bro. The niggas is mad, bro.
Smiley, just get open them. Yep. Runaway pickup truck circles towards unsuspecting traffic.
Hey, boy. They leaving me open, bro. Them niggas leaving me open, bro. Like, these niggas is tripping.
You are literally putting your life in harm's way.
Their mission at that point is to literally, purposely get in a vehicle.
And the cameras are running in the final moments before catastrophe hits. Later,
Is that a double-double? It is a double-double.
Houston neighborhood. Watches in horror before deciding to take dangerous action.
Watch as two men take matters into their own hands.
The system can make arrests.
Ah! Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We here. We here. We great that.
There are almost 4 million miles of roads in the United States. And there are certain times when driving on them is especially dangerous.
Good pass. Let's go. They better check up. That boy better guard up, bro.
Hours of the early morning, a call goes out to officers patrolling the streets.
Police get a call for a one-way driver on the highway driving drunk.
Yeah, we here.
That generally ends with someone being killed. On a scale of 1 to 10, this is a 15.
Police Sergeants Chris Debor and Rob Meredith respond to the call.
So at 2 a.m. in the morning, it's not the police to get calls for
You feel me?
because that's when the bars are closing, that's when people are out on the roads. So the objective here is to stop this drunk driver before he or she
What?
is injuring or killing someone, including themselves.
I know, bro. I know. Sorry. How many you got?
And hundreds of unsuspecting drivers have no idea the danger racing towards them.
Many lives could be lost. That impact is tremendous. They don't have a lot of time. They have to come up with a plan.
As the officers race through the dark side streets south of where the pickup truck was last spotted, there's only one.
Oh my gosh, he drives. This nigga cold as ice. This nigga's cold as ice, bro.
Other people traveling northbound had
Oh,
no
still.
clue
What?
at 80, 90 miles an hour. That was our main goal. Get there, block traffic, shut it down, get people off the roadway.
Yeah, that nigga trash, bro.
The patrol car takes the ramp to Highway 131 heading north and comes to a stop.
Shot.
It's about 3 miles south of where the truck was last reported heading oncoming traffic.
That was really our intention.
So far, the sergeants are in luck. Highway 131 seems relatively quiet in both directions. Maybe too quiet. And then, a pair of oncoming headlights appears on the horizon much earlier than anticipated.
As soon as we positioned our vehicle, the truck was coming at us around the curve and underneath the bridge. We really didn't have time to shut everything down.
And now, the two officers are all
You good.
between the speeding pickup truck and the traffic heading
Yeah.
north.
You know, when I was in the academy,
Ooh, I wonder.
never really used to stop the wrong way drive.
Hey, bro, we,
I used
bro,
to stop right,
bro, we beat the shit out their ass, bro.
good or bad.
Like, this shit's bad,
One
bro.
more visual cue that, hey, we're here, and you're going the wrong way.
Oh, they hold us.
Sergeant Debor and Meredith can no longer merely stop traffic. They must make a decision that could cost them their lives. Try to stop the truck itself.
Shot. Oh, that's fucked up, bro.
Well, they will try to move the back of the vehicle by using the
Shot.
and having the vehicle spin around off to the side of the
Oh my god.
Call of Duty. You are literally putting your life in harm's way for
Stop shooting
them,
that
the drivers,
bullshit,
and
bro.
for other people. These police officers are now thinking about mathematics and physics. How do we position our car to just throw this other car off slightly?
They holding me. They holding me for real, bro. Hold up.
So it's really a risky decision. Is this going to work? They're going to find out.
These officers are basically putting
Shot.
themselves in between the speeding drunk driver going against traffic and the traffic behind them. Watch yourself, watch yourself. Their mission at that point is to literally, purposely get in a vehicle. They are in a very scary situation, and they know that this is going really, really wrong.
As the truck approaches, Sergeants Debor and Meredith can only hope and pray that they will survive the inevitable impact.
I do remember wanting to keep it in drive.
Yeah, I got it on mine too, bro.
He was coming around the curve, When we inside of the gate, he's next to the cement barrier, which I think we're going to be okay. But seconds later, he's out of his turn, and is coming straight at us.
Grab Taco Bell's Nachos Party Pack whenever you're dressing up to stay in or witnessing a miracle. Go big with delicious nachos topped with all your favorites. Nachos Party Pack, only at Taco Bell. Get yours with Taco Bell delivery.
Want long-lasting hydration that actually lasts? New Cetaphil Deep Hydration Facial Collection gives your skin lasting 48-hour hydration. From the #1 dermatologist recommended facial skincare brand. Which one of you ate all the flaming hot Cheeto snacks?
We won't be mad. We just want to know the truth.
We're really doing this one.
I thought we were robbed.
We were robbed.
Glenn, come on.
Let's get here.
Domino's knows a thing or two about delivery. So when we saw people were getting tacos and burgers delivered like these, we had to step in. Introducing our new chicken taco and cheeseburger pizzas.
Oh, shit.
Now the best way to get a taco or burger delivered is to get a Domino's pizza.
Just at home, staying safe with my family, working hard.
Love you, Dad.
Love you all. Miss you all. Stay safe.
These past few months haven't been easy, but they've reminded us that no matter what, there's no place like home. Now, with recent historic lows, home has new meaning. Home is everything.
Leave me alone, Daddy. It's for you.
When you're together 24/7 for 40 years, can you imagine the tension that builds up?
Monday.
She wanted to hit me. I blacked out.
You found the behind. Twisted Sisters, all new, Monday at 9.
Hey, it's me, your skin. Some cleansers get us clean, but take my moisture. I'm creating a balance clean with CeraVe. CeraVe cleansers, developed with dermatologists, help me maintain my moisture balance. With hyaluronic acid, known to attract moisture, plus 3 essential ceramides to help restore my natural barrier.
3 shoes, 2
CeraVe,
lockdowns.
cleansing can be about giving, not just
Good
taking.
matchup.
So we can be a healthy feeling clean. CeraVe clean. CeraVe cleansers from the #1 dermatologist recommended skincare brand. Geico makes the claims process so easy, I can manage my claim all on the Geico app. It's not just easy, it's giving your dog your fitness tracker easy. Woo! Already got my 40,000 steps today.
Geico, fast and convenient claim service.
The Bissell Crosswave Cordless Max lets you vacuum and wash your floors at the same time. Dry messes, wet messes. It even freshens area rugs. And when you buy Bissell, you help save homeless time. To learn more, go to BissellCrosswave.com.
Stop this again.
This great American crime got much more interesting. Andrea had innumerable tapes of Warnecki's preaching.
The crimes that changed us. Only coming up next. Only on ID.
A car accident involving a police car. Shut down a Portsmouth US 131. July 26, 2018. In Wyoming, Michigan, starts as an ordinary Thursday night for Sergeants Rob Meredith and Chris DeBoer. Until a frightening call comes over the airwaves.
There was a wrong-way driver on the expressway, southbound 131 in the northbound lane. At the time, our cars were all out on the road. That's one reason why we jumped in together. I was driving, he was passenger. We know each other, we're friends, but we never actually worked in the same cruiser together. We just got promoted. I've been at Wyoming for almost 21 years. He's been here 9 years or so. That was our very first shift ever working in the same car together.
Is the same terrible question.
How are we going to stop this 90-mile-an-hour missile heading southbound with unsuspecting traffic one way?
But the reckless driver doesn't slow down. And now, the 2 officers are all that stands between the speeding truck and unsuspecting traffic to the south. Lives will be lost if they don't act immediately.
That moment when you have an oncoming vehicle heading straight for you and you have nowhere to go is just a very surreal moment to be in. because your life is literally flashing in front of you.
And at the final possible moment, Officer DeBoer makes a sudden move.
I jerk the steering wheel to the left. When I jerk it to the left, I suddenly accelerate, and that's when we crashed. After the crash happened, everything slowed down. I was still breathing, which I thought was good. I remember hitting my head. I remember quite a bit of neck pain. But I remember that I could still talk, I could still breathe.
Sergeant Chris DeBoer is still alive, but he's filled with dread about his partner, Sergeant Rob Meredith, who was sitting on the passenger side, which bore the brunt of the impact.
It was a gut check moment, like I didn't really know. You all right?
Yep. What I remember most about the impact, really, that takes me back to it, is the smell of the airbag chemical. That is what will stick with me the longest. We'd look to each other, you good? You good? Okay, we're good.
After hitting the squad car, the badly damaged truck continues down Highway 131 for more than a mile before finally coming to a stop.
Because this vehicle was so disabled, they were able to catch up to it, kind of get in front of it.
Where other Wyoming officers are ready to pounce. Amazingly, Sergeants DeBoer and Meredith are not only still alive, but they have no serious injuries. Their survival may have come down to Sergeant DeBoer's last-minute maneuver.
Officer DeBoer slightly turned the front wheel so that the front bumper really set the other car off its course.
It absolutely saved my life. Two cars coming at each other. He's coming at us at an angle, and it caused a glancing impact. It wasn't a head-on collision where it would have crushed our driver compartment. Avoiding that crush, but is what saved my life.
Uninjured, the two men get out of the car to survey the damage.
Part of his driver's or passenger side wheel was actually laying next to our cruiser. He was driving on 3 wheels.
The intoxicated driver, 62-year-old Scott Klusterman, is taken to the hospital in handcuffs. He appears to have been totally unaware he was driving in the wrong direction. And it turns out, just 2 weeks earlier, he had been released from probation for his second drunken driving offense.
He had been drinking in the downtown area. After your third offense and everything after that is a felony level.
Despite the terrifying incident, neither sergeant went home early that night.
We stayed on duty, worked the rest of the shift. There's nothing else to do. I guess go home, go to bed.
Scott Klusterman pleads guilty to driving drunk, and he's sentenced to between 15 months and 5 years in prison. He also enters an alcohol treatment program. To this day, Sergeants DeBoer and Meredith know how lucky they are.
I don't think that either one of us went on the roadway with the intention of ramming a guy head on. We come to work thinking we'll go home to our
Let me get the block, bro. Trash, bro.
Rob and I very well could not have gone home to our families.
Other officers were trying to do the same thing as I was. They were trying to stop this car. Just happened that we were in the right position to make that tactical move to do it.
Alright, we got them coming at us. The officers did a phenomenal job because they had to come up with a plan in a matter of seconds. No one was severely injured. Certainly no one was killed.
What happened like that, dude, man?
Couldn't have asked for a better result.
Traveling.
Coming up, an out-of-control car. A terrified family. And a final confrontation.
What? Why is it slightly... Good pass, though, y'all.
We can't always keep our distance, but we can still help protect each other this flu season by getting vaccinated. If you're 65 or older, get the superior flu protection of Flu Zone High-Dose Quadrivalent. It's the only 65-plus flu vaccine with 4 times the standard dose, and it's free with Medicare Part B.
Flu Zone High-Dose Quadrivalent isn't for people who've had a severe allergic reaction to any flu vaccine or vaccine component, including eggs or egg products. Tell your healthcare professional if you've ever experienced severe muscle weakness after receiving a flu shot. People with weakened immune systems, including those receiving therapies that suppress the immune system, may experience lower immune responses. Vaccination may not protect everyone. Side effects include pain, redness, and or swelling where you got the shot, muscle ache, headache, and general discomfort. Other side effects may occur.
If you're 65 plus, don't settle for a standard dose flu shot. Move up to superior flu protection. See your healthcare provider and ask for Fluzone high-dose quadrivalent by name.
I have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now there's Skyrizi. 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months after just 2 doses.
Skyrizi may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or coughs, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Ask your dermatologist about Skyrizi.
Oh, this is terrible. I was totally stranded.
No PP?
Nope. Empty road.
So what happened?
Well, we started buying Charmin Super Mega Rolls.
Oh, that's huge.
Charmin Super Mega Roll is 6 rolls in 1 and lasts so much longer you don't always have to worry about the roll running out.
I'm glad you arrested Dad.
Me too. It was a huge relief.
Enjoy the go with Charmin.
What?
Keep it fit or your money back.
I'm gonna start recording.
Insurance, that's the only word for me, especially in English.
A lot of people know I don't like to do things that make me sweat. So to know that I'm doing a great job makes me proud of myself.
To teach someone to make a dish that they could share with their family, I love that. It's really deciding what you want to do and moving forward.
We kick off our first ever high-stakes comfort food fuse.
Feel of the hit.
Marshmallow is rushing. The food may be comforting, but the battle is not.
All new Shaw Comfort Food Fuse. Tuesday night at
Could
9
be.
on Food Network. Set your TV off.
When you're together 24/7 for 40 years, can you imagine the tension built up?
Monday.
She wanted to hit me. I blacked out.
Barbara.
He's on the bottom.
Twisted Sisters. All new Monday at 9. Only on ID.
A peaceful summer evening is turned upside down by the sound of screeching tires.
Before it comes out of the what would you do file, watch as 2 men take matters into their own hands.
Hey! Stop that!
Good block.
July 22nd, 2017, Houston, Texas. A white Ford Mustang weaves erratically along the quiet streets of the River Oaks neighborhood.
His car is swerving. Clearly, something's wrong with the driver. He is going into the other lane and then swerving back into his lane. It looks as if his car's pretty banged up. The front part of the car is almost completely ripped off, as if it just got into an accident or was in a previous accident.
It seems like this driver could be seriously impaired or dangerously drunk, and the people in the car behind them are terrified.
It's very alarmed that the driver is going to
Come
cause
on,
injury or
man.
death.
So they start recording everything on their cell phone.
He ran the line.
As they try to follow the car from a safe distance, they call the
Good
police.
shot.
You're telling the police through 911 the details of what is unfolding here.
We're about to be on 610 in Alabama.
See that they're trying to keep track of where they are, what streets they're on. How drunk is this guy? Or is this guy even drunk at all? Maybe he's under the influence of drugs. What, or God forbid, who did he hit with the damage caused to his car? And where is he going?
He wasn't able to control it, but he didn't crash.
You hear the anxiety in their voices because the car is clearly damaged, which means that this driver's already hit something or someone.
He's driving really fast, man.
And they are fearful that the driver is going to hit someone else, so they're doing everything that they can to alert the authorities to try to bring this to a close.
The driver isn't slowing down, and with every passing second, the danger to others on the road skyrockets.
He might hit somebody that is coming in for careful.
Then, the car suddenly takes a sharp turn into a busy parking lot of a supermarket full of shoppers.
The pursuing car follows this other car into a parking lot, and they try to make some noise. They try to get the attention of the security guard.
Man, this guy, he's really drunk.
And and it's not working. So they decide they're going to continue to pursue him.
And when the Mustang finally comes to a brief stop in the parking lot, the driver of the following car decides he has to do something. As he and one of his passengers head towards a damaged Mustang, they have no idea what they're walking into.
The danger of them pulling this intoxicated driver who's under the influence of something out of their own vehicle. Hey, what's up, man? Put them in a very dangerous situation.
Come on, man, don't quit on us, bro.
This driver's armed with a knife or a gun.
At this point, they don't know who's in the car. Is there one person? Are there many people? This is a huge unknown. There are people there. There are kids walking around. You're in a busy parking lot. How is he going to react to these people stopping him?
Come on, it's up, man. Get the out of the car. Ale.
What's going to happen next?
Hey, what's up, man?
Dang.
Said he's guilty.
Get this nigga out of here.
Impossible he was with me all that day.
How did they not come to this conclusion? This was a hit.
He said things nobody should know. There is no such thing as a perfect case.
Killer in Question, all new, Sunday at 9, only on ID.
With the Ninja Foodie Power Pitcher, you can crush ice, make smoothies, and do even more. Chop salsas, spoon-thick smoothie bowls, even power through dough, and never stall. The Ninja Foodie Power Pitcher. Rethink what a blender can do.
Lower carbs, lower calories, higher expectations.
Good shot.
The light beer you've been waiting for has arrived.
How to share love with Nestle Toll House. Make. Bake. Share love with mom. Nestle Toll House. The original way to share love. Think I'll go for a walk outside now. The summer sun's calling my name. Everybody's smiling. Sunshine day.
Shit. Let's see. Oh, he's number 2. I got you too. My fault.
What makes San Pellegrino drink so unique? The time to carefully select delicious juices. Take the time for an
That
unmistakable
nigga going
taste.
crazy.
San Pellegrino, tastefully Italian. Also try San Pellegrino Momento with low calories.
Circle. Get circle.
Shall I put her in snow mode?
Nope.
What about off-road mode?
Nah.
Sport mode it is. See what this baby can do.
Or we could check out that farmer's market.
You know what? I'll be in chill mode. If anyone needs me.
ProPilot Assist with NaviLink. Available on the all-new Nissan Rogue.
There you go. That's what I've been trying to
That
get the
feeling
ball.
when, yep, they've
The
eaten
pass.
everything. Keep them
So
full
it's
with
circle
Hot Pockets,
and
premium
it's,
pepperoni, real cheese, and that buttery garlic crust. Literally built to satisfy.
Hot Pockets.
The media just latched onto this thing.
This great American crime got much more interesting.
Andrea had innumerable tapes of Warnecki's preaching.
There are
Good shit.
techniques to brainwash people.
Did your father have sexual contact with you?
The Crimes That Changed Us, all new series, coming up next, only on ID.
Cell phone video that a family shot as they followed an erratic driver.
That family was so worried, they took matters into their own hands.
Alejandro Fernandez had hoped to
I was about to shake the britches off his ass. He
would be
trash.
one day of sightseeing with his family.
My sister and
Hey, check
brother-in-law
me.
were visiting. He's Italian, so we wanted to take him to pizza place in Houston, and that's where we're going.
In the car with Alejandro are his sister, her husband, and his 11-year-old daughter.
I was on the River Oak area, one of the nicest areas in Houston. You have nice shopping strips, nice restaurants, people with expensive cars in the area.
But a wildly swerving white Mustang changes the family's plans.
He actually came out of a street and then he came towards me. He was struggling and almost hit me. Part of his car was gone already. And I knew it was bad news. So I had to get out of his way.
Oh, welcome to the stream. I can subscribe.
thought he was escaping from a hit and run. You know, he hit somebody, ran away. My father-in-law was videotaping the whole thing.
Oh, was that police camera?
What I was trying to do is tell the police where we were.
We're about to be on 610 in Alabama.
Let's
So
go.
that they would take care of it instead of me doing it. But at that point, there were so many people around that I felt I had to do something. Maybe he could have run over a kid.
Still like.
Maybe nothing would have happened, but if something would have happened, then I would have had to live with it.
It turns
See?
out drinking and driving is intensely personal for Alejandro.
My two best friends died. One of them after partying about 10 years ago.
Oh, you missed. That's good pass.
Crashed against a light bulb. He just died hours later at a hospital.
Good help out.
I have another friend. He went on his bike to get something. A drunk driver ran a red light and hit him. He died like 3 hours after at the hospital.
For Alex, this is definitely personal. And that brings an added intensity to the situation because there's a pretty painful past. I think that stirs about feelings where you feel like, I cannot let another family suffer. I can't turn a blind eye.
Alejandro and his family follow the Mustang into a crowded supermarket parking lot. And then, an opportunity to intervene presents itself.
When I saw somebody backing up and kind of blocking him and he had to stop, that's when I decided to jump out of my car and try to take him out of his car.
I'm gonna try to get the guy out of his car.
I couldn't see him.
No! Oh, he hit that. I wasn't trying to get him the ball,
I
though.
had no idea who was inside of him. But he was by himself.
Really
yeah, bro, I was trying.
This person has a weapon. You didn't know what substances
That's
this person
tough.
was intoxicated with.
Say. The D.
When I was able to open his door, he put his car in, I think, in park by mistake.
Good take.
Stop. Chill out. Stop. He was trying to put it into drive again. And I was fighting with him, trying to get his hand out of the stick so that he wouldn't put the car into drive again. Stop. Chill out. Stop. I tried to turn off his car.
Bro, my shit lags soon as this nigga switch,
and that's
bro.
why I grabbed him and I tried pulling out of his
I see you over there in the
I know
corner.
he was trying to get away.
Alejandro pulls 28-year-old Sirkin Ash
What? How do you let him get the ball? That's
and
tough.
he appears every bit as intoxicated as his reckless driving would suggest.
They pull him out of the vehicle and he's just kind of like, what's going on? As most drunk drivers are.
Alejandro and his brother-in-law put Ash under citizen's arrest as they wait for police to arrive.
Alright, can we go out?
Right. What?
The citizen can make an arrest of someone, but they have to be turned over to police with using physical force. They can hold them in place, and then the police will come and take over from that point, handcuff the person, put them in the car, and bring them to the station house to be processed for the arrest.
Right now you're just under arrest. Yeah. So that's a good thing that he
Man,
didn't
the computer's so stupid, bro. They just be taking up dumb shots, bro.
He didn't get violent with law enforcement when they showed up.
Niggas ain't got no basic common sense.
After taking a breathalyzer, Ash is charged with a felony DWI because it's his third offense.
Their actions were quite impressive. It was very police-like in the way that they removed this driver.
That shit lagging so bad, bro. They holding me.
Hold them there until the police arrived.
They.
And they do official lawful arrest.
Bro, that shit lagging, bro. Them niggas threw me up under that hole. It's all good.
You could have asked really for a better ending.
In the moments after the arrest, Alejandro reflects on his decision to take action and how badly it could have gone.
I don't think I was thinking too much about what could happen.
Come on, stop, man.
I just wanted to stop the guy. I know he could have hurt somebody. I got nervous after the police took him, because you start thinking about what could have happened. And something could have happened. He could have a knife or a gun. Everybody has guns in Texas.
The video of the wild car pursuit and the citizen's arrest goes
Come
viral, and not without some controversy.
This is really intense and high risk.
I get rid of that
Having
shit,
a child
bro.
in
That
the
shit's
car just makes the situation even more
I was
stressful.
having it, bro.
However, the family decided that they were going to go for it.
Oh, it's
I
crazy.
generally wouldn't recommend people start pulling other people out of their cars. You don't know what this person is on. You don't know if this person is armed. You don't know what they're about to get into. So they've now introduced themselves into a whole world of unknowns.
I know what I did.
Oh, he stopped it.
What I did was something that I think anybody could have done. I did it because it was the right thing.
Bro, this shit lagging so bad. It done crazy, bro. game so trash. Don't even make no sense, bro.
For less than an hour and got a call from her wife.
That's crazy.
And she said, you need to come home. And I said, what's wrong, Andrea? Is anyone hurt? And she said, yes. Children. All of them.
Yeah, we beat a team by this much last game, and now it's our turn to get our ass whooped.
When the children started talking about rose and candles, you could see
That's
that
crazy.
We're continuing to examine evidence following up on wanted by FBI as a criminal instead of a victim. The shot was stunning.
I have seen ambulances. I cannot tell you if there have been any injuries.
It was an illegal act of terror.
What? Oh. Good shot. Why would I pass the ball to the AI, bro?
I just received a regular 911 call. Check an unknown type situation. It was just a standard call. I never thought it would be a life-changing experience for me. And it haunts me now to this day. I got there, and another unit's already on the other side of the street. Clear Lake, Texas, it's a suburb of Houston. It's a middle-class neighborhood. There's a few property crimes, domestic violence, things of that nature. As I entered the house, Andrew Mays was sitting on the couch, and I asked Officer Knapp, I said, what is it? What's going on? That's when he told me it's a homicide.
The call came from this house just before 10 a.m.
I came in last night. Father was out with his 7-year-old, and they were shooting baskets. Looked like a normal family situation.
It was the suspect herself who called up and said that she required police to go by her house.
My sister called me and said, hey, don't you have a friend named Andrea? I think your friend is on the news. So I switched on the news, and I just got this sick feeling in the pit of my stomach.
She showed no emotion, no fear, nothing after she killed her husband or boyfriend. And I walked down this long corridor, and I was expecting to see a body, a man's body.
That nigga just bumping up off you, bro, and shooting that
Andrea
bitch.
and Rusty were just a
Like,
beautiful
literally.
couple. When they got married, I remember being really delighted for her.
I'll tell you.
Rusty's an engineer. He worked for a contractor for NASA. He was such a nice man. I was so happy for Andrea, and he seemed to be so very much in love with her.
And I walked into the room. There was no body there, but I saw a little head. And I thought it was a doll.
Okay.
Andrea took mothering like she took everything else in her life. She was determined to be excellent at being a mother. She was just the sweetest mom. She was wonderful with those kids.
I walked over to the little head, and as I got close to it, you know, the closer I got, the more I realized, wow, you know, this is a child. And I touched his forehead, it was ice cold. I picked up the blanket where the child was. More children started to materialize. And they were all lined up, all side by side. There were 4 of them in that bed. To this day, my mind's eye can recreate the image that I saw. Put the blanket back on top of the children. I turned into the bathroom, and I found the oldest one face down in the tub. He was just floating. We were just in shock. We didn't know what to do.
Let's go.
Police found
I'm
5
telling you, bro.
young children dead in the home, and they say the mother has confessed to killing them, apparently drowning them in a bathtub.
All the children were wet. One was found in the bathtub, but the medical examiner's office is going to have to determine the cause
Give me
of
that
death.
shit.
They think some other means.
But they calling all that shit on me, bro.
Have killed multiple children at once. It's almost done.
They hating on the real nigga, bro.
During all this time, Yates was sitting here. The clothes were totally soaked. Looks like she just came out of the shower. She didn't say anything. And then her husband showed up. Somehow or another, he breached the perimeter. And she just looked at the door, didn't say a word. She just sat there with this glazed look on her face.
5 children murdered in their own home, and the prime suspect is their mother.
The Andrea that I knew would never have done anything like that. Something very wrong was going on. The Andrea that I knew would
How you not turning around?
bone in her body.
What everyone wants to know is what could have
This
pushed
game,
Andrea so
bro.
completely over the edge that she's suspected of killing her own children.
I met Andrea when we were in 8th grade. She was in my English class. I was a misfit and she was also a little bit of a misfit. She didn't ever care if she was popular, and that was something I always admired about her, and so we became friends. Her parents were wonderful parents. They raised 5 kids. They were fun to be around. But I do know that Andrea's parents expected a lot from her. They had a culture of excellence. We went to nursing school at UT in Houston.
That's my fault, man.
Andrea was the most diligent student.
Bro, I need trash, bro.
Meet.
I need trash, bro.
We did have one year that we did.
Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, listen, bro. I'm planning to get some interior and a glass screen lockdown at the same time.
You would not know.
Going for the dog.
Got called that this case would land in my division. All we knew was that a woman had killed her children.
They trying to play me, bro.
So unusual. 5 children all drowned by mother is kind of surreal.
A community in crisis. Could their neighbor, Andrea Yates, really have drowned her 5 children?
Every time you turned on the news, there was an update about Andrea.
Locals struggle to come to terms with the tragedy.
I felt so sorry for the children and the father that's suffering right now.
A husband and father now left to pick up the pieces.
Ooh.
I found out that Andrea was being arrested. She sent me a little update of her life. She had a good job and she was a really wonderful nurse. She had met this nice young man who lived in her apartment complex, and his name was Rusty. Early the next year, I got an invitation to her wedding. She looked just beautiful, this lovely white dress. Her hair was pulled back. She was so happy. How could my dear friend, whom I loved like a sister, how could this have possibly happened?
Our question for today is, should Andrea Yates face capital murder charges? Jonathan in Georgia says a mother that would knowingly drown her own children should be sentenced to death. So many actions are going to...
I recall hearing it on the radio. That evening, I received a message on my answering service. I hesitated to call back for probably 30 minutes. I knew in my gut that this case would have a marked impression on my professional and personal life.
I do remember Andrea called me when Noah was born. I went to see her. She's sitting there in the hospital looking so completely happy and satisfied. I didn't see that she had any more anxiety than any other first-time mother. She was
I ain't had no files to give, bro.
Andrea's idea that you have to be excellent at everything you do, and she probably put more pressure on herself than she needed to.
She breastfed, she used the cloth diapers. Later the next year, she sent me the picture of her and Rusty and Noah and John. So that's how I knew she hadn't had a baby.
You ready back? You good? You hot?
Where's Noah? I do remember her telling me that on her wedding day that she and Rusty were going to have as many children as God gave them.
What time was it you got out of bed this morning? Okay. And who in your household was awake at that time?
My husband, Mary, and
what strikes you the most is her recall of the sequence of events under Yates' wake. So after her husband had left the house, it seemed to me that her actions carrying out of the murders were planned.
After you drew the bathwater, what was your intent? What were you about to do?
Age is just a number, and mine's unlisted. Try Boost High